What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who haven't seen this by now, the Cleveland Cavaliers recently just waived Kevin Pangos and have actually now created a new roster spot for them to go out and sign really whoever they want, or potentially look at the buyout market and see who is going to be available there. Now, this is all being reported by Chris Fedor, of course, the Cavaliers' big reporter, and I kind of thought, hold on a second, let's actually go over this and maybe look at who the Cleveland Cavaliers could, of course, potentially bring to, the team on a buyout and, see what's kind of going on right here. Now, for those of you who didn't know what Kevin Pangos is before we talk, about that, is Kevin Pangos is actually, I believe, one of the best ever Canadian basketballers of all time. I mean, I believe he played in their Olympic team in, pretty much every single, really time he's been able to since, I'd probably say, like, 2015 or something like that, even before then. So he's probably played like FIBA competitions, this and that. The dude has done really, I believe, everything for Canada, and again has been all over the place with them, I believe. Again, played a lot in the Euro League, and again was one of the best Euro League players, I think, at one stage for Barcelona. Again, he did come off the bench and do some things for them. So one of the best, bench players in the league. Definitely not one of the best in the league at that time. So that's just kind of there. Again, he did actually average around 13 points per game and 6 assists 1 year for one of the European teams. So he actually did quite a bit over there before, again, coming to the NBA and getting a chance for the Cleveland Cavaliers, where he did not really much. He wasn't ever really given too much of a chance. Again, he did get pretty much, he ended up making like $1 million out of them, but the issue is Kevin Pangos is just really, really small. Again, he is listed at 6'1", 185 centimeters tall, but we all know that is a very big lie. I mean, I've seen him stand next to Darius Garland. That's supposed to be Garland's height. I don't think he's taller. In fact, I think he's a lot smaller. He could be like 181, 6 foot, something like that. I definitely don't think he's 6'1". He's a lot smaller than what he's said to be. And again, it just didn't work out. His defense wasn't great. His three-point shooting was super inconsistent in the NBA, even though it was elite in, the Euro Leagues. Again, he was averaging, I think, 47% one season, which is absolutely ridiculous to kind of average. But again, I guess it just wasn't to be. But again, there are a lot of players that could potentially be bought out in the NBA that are kind of floating around. First of all, you got Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic, and Tristan Thompson, who are kind of floating around. We know that Tristan Thompson has actually recently just signed with the Chicago Bulls, so he's out of it now. We know Dennis Schroder is potentially looking at a buyout after getting traded to the Houston Rockets. I don't think he will play with them, at least. I'm not sure. Maybe he will. At the time of this video coming out, he could definitely do it. Especially considering they do kind of need a point guard. You look at Mike Muscala, he's kind of roaming around for Oklahoma. He's the only non-guard I've mentioned so far, but I think Oklahoma really love him. I think they really like having that veteran presence, and a dude that has been super consistent for them for like the 3 years he's been on that team. So I don't think they're going to be getting rid of Mike Muscala anytime soon. I think they actually really like him over there in Oklahoma, and he's one of the dudes they haven't traded for 14 first-round picks. But again, you look at the other point guards, when we look at Bledsoe, it probably won't happen. I don't know where he'll go, but I don't think the Cavaliers necessarily need him too much. Probably will end up on the Lakers or something like that, or the more realistic option, he'll probably just end up playing for the Portland Trailblazers, I would think. And then, of course, there's Goran Dragic, who I think, at the time of making this video, it hasn't been said who he's going to go to. Again, all of this could change when this video comes out. But yeah, I'm not sure where he's going to go. When this video comes out, he probably will have already signed with someone. You guys will be like, he signed with the Clippers, he signed with the Warriors, this and that. But again, I'm not sure. The one who I'm actually looking at, because all these players, like you look at Thomas Satoransky, John Wall, the Cavaliers aren't going to need any of them. Paul Millsap apparently is on the buyout market potentially, but I think Philadelphia will keep him. I can't see that actually happening. A dude that I could actually see the Cavaliers maybe going after is Robin Lopez, potentially. Now, Robin Lopez is actually, I feel like, a really underrated dude in the NBA. Like, he's 7 foot and actually playing pretty solid for the Orlando Magic this season, to the point where I don't think they're going to let him go. I think they really like him. The issue is with the Orlando Magic, though, they have so many centers. Like, when you think about it like that, they have, again, Wendell Carter and Mo Bamba all wanting to play around 33 minutes per game. And so they've had to start both of them, and both are starters in the league, I think. So it's really unfortunate that one of them's been having to play power forward. But in saying that, Wendell Carter's been pretty good. But then they've got Lopez off the bench, who's actually been incredibly solid for them this season as well. I mean, he is actually averaging around 8 points per game, 3.5 rebounds on around 40% from 3. Like, the dude's actually playing pretty good. And if I'm being completely honest, that's actually pretty good numbers in 17 minutes per game. And if I was realistically the Cleveland Cavaliers, right now, I feel like having a backup center like him would actually be a pretty interesting move. Because they have Ed Davis as like their 15th man, but I don't think they really want to play Ed Davis too much. I think he's only there for experience and veteran leadership, which he has done superbly this year. And he has actually been solid when he has played. But honestly, if Jarrett Allen or someone like that was to go down in the playoffs, I would be really scared about putting Ed Davis on the court. I know there's going to be one of you at home that says Ed Davis is better than Robin Lopez. I just promise you he's not. Like, Ed Davis this season has played limited minutes, and when he's got on, it's been like the last 2 minutes of the game. But when he started and done all of that type of stuff, he just doesn't get many minutes. He seems to get pretty tired. He cannot run out a full game. But if we're looking at a dude like Robin Lopez, look, Lopez definitely has the capability to run out a full game. I mean, when he was on Chicago 3 years ago, he hasn't dropped since being at Chicago, I would like to add. Like, he's still as good as he was in Chicago that season, where he again averaged 9.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 21.7 minutes. Again, the thing is, look, his rebounding's not that good, but his scoring and production is actually solid, and he can be a really nice 3-point shooter in the league. And the thing is, he doesn't need to get boards when you have like Kevin Love and Evan Mobley still on the team, and other players there that can get boards. All he needs to do is be a relatively nice defender, and I definitely think that's something he can do. So I would 100% look at Robin Lopez. Again, Mike Muscala's really, really cool. The other players on this list are like DeAndre Jordan. I actually legitimately don't know how DeAndre Jordan is in the league. Like, for those of you who don't know what the NBL is, basically that's Australia's basketball league. I could legitimately name you like 3 centers off the top of my head in that league who have played against like LaMelo Ball, RJ Hampton, Matthew Dellavedova, etc., who are much better than DeAndre Jordan and deserve to be in the league. But yet the Lakers, for some reason, decide to keep him. I absolutely don't understand it. And if you guys are like, for a perfect example, look at Jock Landale. He was in the NBL a year ago. Now he is the backup center for the San Antonio Spurs, averaging 18 minutes. Good defense, good 3-point shooting, this and that. Meanwhile, the Lakers, for some reason, saw a player like him and said, nah, let's keep DeAndre Jordan. They saw a player like Isaiah Hartenstein and still said, nah, DeAndre Jordan. Again, I do not want him anywhere near the Cavaliers. I know Drew Eubanks could potentially be looking for a buyout. Could he be the type of guy, maybe, that fits in with the Cavaliers? I'm not sure. Actually, in fact, I believe he got waived from the Toronto Raptors. I don't know if he's necessarily the guy. I still probably say that Robin Lopez is a better player than him. It's just if you can get your hands on him. A dude like Kent Bazemore actually wouldn't mind a wing player to come in that can shoot threes. And look, don't get me wrong, hasn't been that great on the Lakers, but no one has. And the fact that sometimes he barely gets minutes because they decide to play some other random players over him sometimes hurts my head. I don't understand it, but I still think he'd be a good idea. Again, most of these players are better than what Kevin Pangos is, I'm just trying to say. So that's why the Cavaliers waived him. I expect them to explore the buyout market. I don't know who they'll try and get, but let's be completely honest here. If they were able to get a dude like John Wall, That would be pretty cool. Not going to happen, but I think a dude like Robin Lopez, who also I think would actually even build their chemistry. Like, Robin Lopez seems to be a really cool guy that everyone likes, so I wouldn't even think that would be a bad thing. Or maybe the Cavaliers go and get Joakim Noah rather, and try and make him like Cleveland or something like that, because we know how much he hates the Cavs, so that would be funny. Or maybe they look at Anderson Varejao, bring the GOAT back. I don't know. Definitely let me know your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Who should the Cavaliers sign or go after? Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, my IRL/long channel, this and that, and I guess I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.